My mother lied about my father for 27 years. My mother always told me my father died before I was born. It was a simple story. He was young. There was a car accident. And that was the end of it. For 27 years I believed her. I believed every word. Until one afternoon when a stranger knocked on my door and asked a question that changed my entire life. He looked at me carefully and said, "Are you Emily Carter?" I said yes. Then he asked something that made my stomach drop. "Did your mother ever tell you about your father?" "My name is Emily. I'm 27 years old, and until recently I believed my life was completely ordinary. I grew up in a small town in Oregon, just me and my mother. She worked long hours as a nurse, and she raised me mostly by herself. When I was little, I asked about my father all the time. Kids always do. Where is he? What was he like? Did he look like me?" My mother would always give the same answer. "He died before you were born." Sometimes she added a few details. A car accident. Late at night. A wet road. But she never said much more than that. I used to imagine him anyway. In my mind he was kind, quiet, maybe a little shy. Someone who would have loved being my dad if he had been given the chance. As I got older, I stopped asking about him. Life moved on. School. College. My first apartment. Eventually the story about my father became just another fact about my life. Something sad but normal. Or at least that's what I thought. It was a Tuesday afternoon when the man knocked on my door. I had just come home from work. I remember because I was still holding my car keys when I opened the door. The man looked to be in his mid-50s. Tall. Gray hair. Serious expression. He looked at me the way people do when they're trying to recognize someone. "Emily Carter?" he asked. "Yes." He nodded slowly, almost like he had just confirmed something important. Then he said something strange. "I'm sorry to bother you, but I think we need to talk." I felt a little uneasy. "About what?" He hesitated for a moment before answering. "About your father." My heart immediately started racing. "What do you mean?" The man looked uncomfortable. "I know this might sound strange," he said carefully, "but your father is not dead." For a moment I thought I had misheard him. "My father died 27 years ago," I said. "That's what you were told," the man replied quietly. Something inside my chest tightened. "Who are you?" "My name is Daniel Harris," he said. "And I worked with your father for almost 20 years. The world suddenly felt unsteady. "That's impossible." Daniel shook his head slowly. "I'm afraid it's not." We sat at my kitchen table for nearly an hour. Most of that time I was just staring at him, waiting for him to admit this was some kind of mistake. But he never did. Instead, he told me a story I had never heard before. My father's name was Michael Carter. He worked as an engineer in Seattle. And according to Daniel, he was very much alive. The reason Daniel had come to my house was simple. My father had died 3 days earlier. And before he died, he had asked Daniel to find me. I felt like someone had pulled the ground out from under my feet. My mother told me he died before I was born. Daniel sighed. That's what he believed too. My father never knew about me. Not for 27 years. According to Daniel, my parents had dated briefly when they were both young. Then suddenly my mother disappeared. She left the city. She stopped answering calls. And my father never heard from her again. Daniel reached into his jacket and placed a small envelope on the table. "This was in his desk," he said. "Your name was written on the outside." My hands were shaking as I opened it. Inside was a photograph. A picture of my mother when she was young. And written on the back were 4 words. "If you ever find her." That night I drove straight to my mother's house. I didn't even call first. When she opened the door and saw my face, she immediately knew something was wrong. "Emily." I walked inside without saying a word. Then I placed the photograph on the kitchen table. Her face went completely pale. "Where did you get that?" "From Dad." The word slipped out before I even thought about it. My mother sat down slowly. For a long time she didn't say anything. Finally she whispered, "I always hoped this day would never come." My mother didn't lie because my father was a bad man. She lied because she was afraid. When she found out she was pregnant, she was only 19. My father had just received a job offer in another city. A big opportunity, the kind of chance that could change a person's life. My mother believed that if she told him about the baby, he would feel trapped. She thought he would stay out of obligation instead of love. So she made a decision. She left without telling him. And when I was born, she created a story. A simple one. He died before you were born. But that wasn't the end of the story. My mother looked at me with tears in her eyes. There's something else you should know, she said. My stomach tightened again. What? I saw him once after you were born. The room suddenly felt silent. He came looking for me. What happened? My mother wiped her eyes. I lied again. She told him she had moved on, that she had a new life, that the past was better left alone. And then she watched him walk away. Forever. 3 days later, I attended my father's funeral. It was strange standing there among people who had known him for decades. Friends, colleagues, people who had stories about a man I had never met. Daniel stood beside me the entire time. You look like him, he said quietly. I never got the chance to meet my father. But standing there that day, I realized something. For 27 years, I believed I had lost a father. The truth was, I never had the chance to know him at all. And sometimes the hardest part of a secret isn't the lie. It's all the time that was lost because of it.